Quick and easy watercolors are often a great way to open up the creative process and perhaps give you other ideas for your future masterpieces. So today we are taking a minimalistic approach and painting a very simple landscape inspired by the beautiful country of Iceland. So grab your brushes, get comfortable, and let's paint watercolors. We start using a HP grade pencil. We've got some distant hills there which would be snow covered, not really tall enough to be mountains. And there will be rocks showing through here and there. This is very much beginner friendly, minimalist landscape. It will be misty at the base of those distant hills. And then there's this little stream of water running from that area towards us. And it will be dark in the foreground and get fainter, lighter, fainter as it disappears into the distance where we have that misty effect. To help us, for contrast, there are various rocks in the water to the side there, and we have various little rocks showing up through the snow here and there, which we'll come on to later. So not a great deal of drawing involved, no buildings, very easy, nothing complicated. Now for mixing our paints well in advance, we have some Winsor Blue in the middle there. Then we have some Winsor Yellow at the top with a tiny touch of Scarlet Lake because we want a tiny amount of warmth in the sky, which we'll come on to. Then at the bottom there, we've got Paynes Grey and some clear water. Start with a number 12 brush with clear water over the sky area and come down to that pencil line, top of the hills. Nothing complicated, very easy, very beginner friendly. So our Winsor Blue, and then we drop in some of the light color, the warm color in the middle area there. And then some more of the Winsor Blue running up to that area, but not going over it, making sure we preserve it, the light area. Then you can drop in some darker with the Paynes Grey, all wet and wet. And do remember that the board is at a slope from top to bottom, about 10-15 degrees, so that when we do wet in wet washes, the wash runs down the paper. It has somewhere to go. That will make things much easier for you. Avoid what we call creep back, where it pools in some areas, dries in other areas. Where they meet, you get a nasty crease. So it avoids all those problems. And it's a small piece of paper, just 7.5 by 5.5. And because it's 140-pound Baohong, it is taped around all four sides. Small piece of paper, so you're not wasting lots of paper with this little practice. And therefore, I do recommend it to you. Making good use of our number 12 brush, and as you can see with the tissue there, have it to hand always. I can do a little bit of lifting if necessary, and also I can neaten up the edges with excess water there before I dry off with a hairdryer, thus avoiding creep back. Now, because we want that misty effect in the distance, I'm laying down some clear water with the number 12 brush. And then you can go over the hillside. And then, because they're little rocky areas, I'm laying some of that in, letting it fuse in with the water. So they will be in the distance a combination of those rocky areas showing through and snow. So good contrast of light and dark. And I'm using a number 6 brush at the moment, but whatever you have available, smaller brush for more control. You might have a 4 or something like that, which is fine. And as I do mention often, the size of the brushes I mention to help you, but they do vary tremendously from one make to another. But at least you can see on the screen what size they are. Okay, so nothing too defined, very loose and misty. Then we've got some more clear water going on there. And I'm just fusing in at that distance area to make it as misty as possible. Dry that off, and then I resort to a smaller brush, something like a number 2, because I'm going to do some detail on the rocky outcrops in the distance. And if you study photos of Iceland, you'll see that there are various layers in the rock formation where sediments, rocks have been laid down over the millennia and then pushed up out of the landscape, etc., and cracked and broke here and there. But there are distinctive lines. So representing that. So there'll be some horizontals and there'll be a few verticals thrown in as well. Okay, so we're making good progress. We're well over halfway through this quick and easy tutorial. And now we can do the little stream. You can bring over some of your Paynes Grey into that Winsor Blue in the middle there in the pan and start the water for the stream. It will be, of course, dark in the foreground near to us and get lighter and lighter as it goes into the distance. And to help you achieve that, try not to dip back into the paints too much. You might want a little bit to, say, lighten it and add some water to it, as I've just done. Lighten it that way. But in the main, it will lighten because there'll be less and less pigment on the brush as you go into the distance. Then we can darken up in the foreground with that Paynes Grey dropped in, wetting wet again. So you are learning a lot about the process of wetting wet. And because it's a landscape and it's not complicated, you don't have to worry too much about certain detail. I think you'll be able to experiment quite well with this wet and wet process. So various rocks on the sides of the stream, which gives us a nice contrast of light and dark against that snowy landscape background. And darken those up here and there. And then now we can get on to dropping in a few of those darks on the snow itself. So start with your Paynes Grey here and there. It's just rocks strewn about here and there. There's a few on the left there that are a distinctive semicircular pattern, which either have been laid down by someone or the weather effect might have produced it. And then, whilst they're still wet, you can put a little bit of water on your brush and just drop in at the base of those and let it fuse in to give the effect of a little bit of shadow. As you're seeing now. And you can do a little bit of the side of the brush scraping technique on the snow there, showing little bits of shadow on the snow, and therefore a little bit of contrast of light and dark. Nothing too major, just little indications. I think you should have a go at this. A small piece of paper, not too much paint used. I think it's worth having a go. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Thanks for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you next time.